I just introduced myself. Nikasema, hi, my name is Brenda Mitchelle. I am this old, and my mom is so and so, and I'm looking for you because I think you're my father.
Wow. Wow.
Can you imagine?
On today's episode, I have the beautiful Miss Brenda Mitchelle. She is an actress, she's a digital content creator, founder of Dog Lovers Kenya, and an amazing wife to the one and only Jackie B, and a mom of 2. She's sharing her story on a little girl's journey to finding their dad. I know, very emotional. We all want to know where we come from. We all want to know our father. We all want to know where we belong. And she's sharing all of that on this episode today. We'll also be talking about marriage and how that looks like when you're coming in with so much baggage and a lot more. So karibuni sana, and help me welcome today's very beautiful and special guest, Miss Brenda Mitchelle. Thank you so much, Mitchelle,
Thank
for
you
being
for
here.
having me.
Hey, kamrembo.
Urembo creation. Finally, niko hapa. Umeona hii sura?
Finally, tumefika.
I'm
You're
loving the
so
work.
pretty. Thank you so much. But wewe pia ni mrembo. Hiyo page yako unakuanga unatetemesha huko, hakuna ni kushtua watu.
Kidogo tu.
Ati
Try.
kidogo tu. Wow, look at who's trying. You are so pretty. I think the first day I met you, it was at It's groundbreaking. You were wearing a green something.
Oh, the off shoulder.
I was like,
green.
oh my God.
And a really bright pants, you know?
You were
like neon green.
Umevaa niko tu kai akiwa rembo hawajazaliwa hawajaisha ndio hawa. You are so beautiful.
Thank you.
Karibu hapa. Oh, by the way, tukiongelea urembo, I'm dressed by Urembo Creations. Everything you see is by Urembo. So huku ni kurembeka tu.
Kabisa. Simone hii face beat. Sijifanya mjaona. I'm pleasantly surprised.
Wow.
Most of the times I hate my makeup.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm happy that you love it and you look very, very nice.
Thank you.
So hapa leo, these pretty girls here, we are talking about dads, about fatherhood, about navigating daddy issues, you know, in the capacity of a mom, a wife, a sister, a brother, because these issues are real and they're affecting us. And
big time.
Yeah, I thought let me invite you. Nakumbuka tukipatana one time and that day when you are looking like a flower and you just mentioned a bit about your story, about your dad, and I was like, oh, interesting. So when this topic came, you know, the time came, I was like,
you knew who to look for.
Who is better than Mitchelle to talk about this? So karibu sana.
Thank you so
much.
much.
And thank you for being willing to share.
Well, my journey with my father, you know, it began when I was young, of course. I had my biological father, whom I've never met, Pakasai, but I know of him. But then I was raised with my stepdad and my mom. Yeah. Now, from a very early age, I knew this person had married my mom, but not necessarily, he didn't want me as the package that comes with my mom.
Yeah.
He just wanted my mom, you know? And you're one of the things sometimes I feel like as women, we forget to look for. We look for a partner, but not necessarily a father to our kids. You know, we are selfish kidogo.
Yeah.
Unapatana na boy, uko like, he's hot, he's looking like this, he treats me like a queen, but auendi your extra mile kufikiria, is this person going to be a good father?
Yes.
You know?
And to take in my child as their own.
Yes, and if you have a child, you know, that's an extension of you. You come as a package.
Yeah.
So atamu accept pia yeye ama ananitaka tu mimi peke yangu. So most of the times we don't consider the kids, and unfortunately that's what happens. Yeah, so with me living with my stepdad, okay, in the early days, imagine can you imagine, Danu? No one ever told me that this person was not my dad. Because I was so young, there was no way of knowing it, right? But I just felt the rejection from the word go, you know. I didn't, akukukuwa na kitu yenye mtu aliniambia, ama like I'm very open with my grandma. No one told me anything, but from the word go, I could feel like
something is off.
Yeah, this person is not my dad. And I began the search kutoka nikiwa mtoto mdogo.
What? And did you tell your mom?
Later.
Later on.
Yeah, I was so scared of disappointing her na kumonyesha ni kama she's not enough. You know, I didn't want her to feel like she's not enough.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to mention that to her. But unakumbuka venye kitambo, people used to have like boxes and boxes of photos.
Yes. Oh, yeah, those
hizo mapicha na maalbum, yani ukienda tu kuvisit mtu hata hakuna TV. Ilikuwa unatola hizo maboxes za maalbum. My mom had a lot of albums. Like it would take you like a whole week to go through all the photos.
Wow.
She loved photos. My mom is very beautiful, so she loved.
Clearly.
Yeah, no, you know where the genes come from. So she used to have a lot of photos from when she was young, in high school. So nikisikia tu watu wameenda, watu wameenda ushago, ama somewhere place najua, watachukua a lot of time kurudi. I used to go through all the photos.
Ukiwa peke yako kwa hao?
Nikiwa peke yangu and look for my dad.
Gosh.
So I got through all the photos. I was like, okay, he has to have a pointed nose. Like this is a very
distinct feature that I have.
Of me, yeah.
What?
So I used to look at the nose, like if he has a dimple. So there is some features like I knew lazima angekuwa nazo. So I used to go through all the photos and try to look for these features, you know. Na sikuwaipata. Of course, sikuwa na picha za ex kwa album. Come on.
You are just hopeful.
But I was a child.
But that is so funny. How old were you at this time ukifanya hiyo search kama hiyo?
Like kitu kama 8.
What?
Yeah, 8, 9.
Hiyo ni class 2, 3, thereabout.
So ni kutafuta tu kuangalia umse like he ako mahali hapa, huwezi niambia hayuko. And I used to nikisikia mamangu na shosho yangu anaongea, I used to try and eavesdrop.
Yeah, maybe you'll hear the name.
Maybe they'll talk about him, but they never did. So finally, when I was 12 years old and I was bold enough, nilikuwa nimegaragats hiyo siku, I walked up to my mom and asked her, Mom, I know this guy is not my dad, so like, can you tell me who my dad is?
We?
Imagine.
Kakwambia nini?
To my surprise, hakukata. And I was like, yani I've been right all along.
Wait, so this time you're confronting her, like you want to talk to her about this.
Yeah.
Bado hakuna mtu amekwambia, Michelle,
No.
I am sure.
No one. No one. So for the first time, I got your validation. And she told me, yes, this is not your dad, but when you're grown enough, of which your time never comes, you know, when you're grown enough, I'll tell you who your real dad is. So I sat and waited patiently now for when the day comes out. And the day didn't come until I got pregnant with my firstborn. That's when she told me.
What?
Yeah.
And now all through, how was that for you? Did you just now continue living life as normal? Ama uliendelea bado kufanya DCI work?
Okay, I think easy episodes, let me just call them episodes, zilikuwa zinatokea sana, especially when I am not in a good place with my stepfather. That's when like I felt strongly to start looking again.
Like you're not even my dad.
Yeah, like you're, like you're not.
Moment.
Yeah, you're not even my dad. This is why you're like this, you know. So hapo ndio kazi ya DCI ilikuwa inashika. You know, I think at some point I did ask my grandmother, and my grandmother told me, enda ulize mamako. Shosho hizo vitu kama hizo.
So here you are, a grown up, umekuwa sasa mkubwa, you find your dad.
Yeah.
And before, so how was it? Tell us, how was that meet and greet? Was there ever a meet and greet?
No, I've not met him in person.
Your mom just told you?
Yeah, my mom just told me, and I did further DCI work. Now I'm capable now. Niko na laptop. You know, the tools are there. So sasa ni kuchimba. So nikampata. I only had his name,
and that was all you needed.
That's all I needed. Acha nikwambie, kama unatafuta mtu wa research nitafute. Mimi hakuna kitu siwezi pata. Nitaingia kwa hiyo rabbit hole na nitapata kila kitu. So I only had his name, and I found out, I saw his company, I saw where he worked at and where he was living kwa sababu yuko hapa, and every information I needed to contact him. So I just called the number and he picked up.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Hiyo siku, like I remember it so well. Like normally memory yangu inakuanga kama ya kuku, but that day I remember kila kitu. It was on Friday. It sounded like ako out mahali. So I was like, now I'm looking for ways to introduce myself. Should I say my name? Will he know my name? Should I say my mom's name? Should I say my grandfather's name? I don't know. Because watu wa hiyo age wanajitambulishanga by your name.
Where you come from,
and then where you come from.
I am so and so from so and so.
Yes, from so and so. So nilikuwa, hizo vitu zote zilikuwa zinapita kwa akili yangu. I didn't know how to introduce myself. Can you imagine? I just introduced myself. Nikasema, hi, my name is Brenda Mitchelle. I am this old, and my mom is so and so, and I'm looking for you because I think you're my father.
Wow.
Can you imagine? So he was like, what? Ako, he's out. So hata asikii vizuri. Akaniambia, okay, acha nitafute mahali nikupigie vizuri tuongee. Kamwambia sawa. Niko like, huyu sasa amejikata, amesikia sasa he won't call back. But he did call back almost immediately after.
I think on his end alisikia news.
I know. Can you imagine? So, and also I didn't know whether he knew of me or he didn't know of me. So also ilikuwa, I'm trying to be very careful with what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know? So, because you're never sure, right?
Yes, and you don't know what even happened in the first place.
You know?
Yeah.
So, aka call back na nikajiintroduce sasa pole vizuri. Nikamwambia where I'm from and my mom's name and my grandfather's name and my shushu's name. And I told him why I think he's my dad. And then, funny enough, tulianza tu kuongea story as if it's someone I knew all along.
Wow.
Yeah. So we started talking about my grandfather and the way he was strict and the way sijui, once he tried to go and meet him, and yani all these stories tukaanza tu kuongea. And it's been now 3 years. I've still not met him in person.
But you talk on phone.
Yes, but we do talk kwa simu, kwa WhatsApp, kila saa. Unajua zile messages za baba forwarded messages za good morning, Ephesians.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So on that day after you guys finished your conversation, what was it like?
To me?
That first, yes, like today, finally, I met my dad on phone, we've talked, and you hung up the phone.
Yeah. I don't know, I just wasn't as excited. Because unajuanga ile feeling it's like you've worked towards something for so long, paka imefika mahali yenye unafeel tu ni kama umechoka. You know, it's like, kwa sababu mimi ilikuwa imefika mahali nikasema I don't want to know anymore, like it's fine, you know. And then here I am with my I've just given birth to my firstborn, and then your mom is like, okay, your dad is so and so.
Now you're grown, you can know.
Now you're grown, you can know. So nilikuwa nimechoka tu, imefika mahali niko like, okay, well, If I know, fine. If I don't, fine.
If we have a relationship, fine. If not.
Yeah, and then at that point pia hati yangu ilikuwa imeshakuwa guarded because I don't want to be disappointed. So I was trying to keep it very light, very casual. It's like I just want to know who you are, you know. I don't want anything from you. Like I was guarded. Yeah.
Did you feel a part of you was like sort of void because you're looking for closure all these years?
Yes, of course. Okay, that's ina happening sana for people who've been who maybe their fathers left, you know. Most of you guys can relate to that.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, because it's quite a number. I don't know what's happening. It's a crisis. And that number is growing every single day, you know. So I'm sure there's so many people out there who feel like this. There's always a void. There's always something you're trying to fill. And unfortunately, watu wenye wana going through daddy issues, and they're not even self-aware. You know, first, jina daddy issues squeezy may make you out to be just a joke.
Yeah.
You know.
I find it very offensive when someone would just throw a joke like, you have daddy issues. Yeah,
you know. So squeezy
like you don't understand the magnitude of that word.
Yes, because people look for their dads. Even mtu amefikisha 60 but kuko na kitu yenye haku straighten na parent wake and it's still paining them.
Yeah.
Yeah, because whether you like it or not, your father will always be an important part of you. And watu wanagringo wanasema, you know what, I don't care whether he comes or goes, I don't care, but it affects you, especially when you start getting into relationships.
Yes.
You know, unapata mtu ako so guarded, you know, vitu kidogo zinamtrigger, unashanga ni nini mbaya na huyu, you know.
Yeah.
Ama they are so self-sufficient, yani wao wanatakanga tu vitu zao hivi.
And you can't change that, you can't move. Yes. Let me ask, so for you, you've been married to the lovely Jackie. Hi.
Jackie B.
Mnamitanga Jackie. Oh, but kusema Jackie peke yake, you might think it's a chick. It's Jackie B.
Jackie B producer.
Jackie B, hi. How are you? Tuko hapa na bibi yako mrembo. So, when you guys got married, and you see all your life you've been doing all this DCI work, there's that void, of course, you're feeling inside of you. I need a dad. Of course, you have a lot of things that you haven't resolved. How was that transition? Now you have another man in your life, but he's not your father.
Yeah. At that point, especially time yenye nilikuwa na meet Jackie B, nilikuwa place in my life where it's like you're setting yourself up for failure. Inaitwaje? Self-sabotaging. So nilikuwa like, okay, ukikaa sawa, kama unataka kwenda pia sawa. Because at that point now, my stepdad and my mom were going through a divorce. And it was not an easy divorce. It was very difficult. So many things had to change in our lives, especially my sister's lives. Yani, it was a big blow kabisa to my family. Because my mom has always been a housewife.
Yeah.
So she didn't have any money, you know, and this relationship has now ended. And this man is gone. He's not, he doesn't want to take care of his kids. He doesn't want, mimi ninaelewa. From the word go, I always knew, okay, mimi inaeleweka, like mimi si mtoto wake, but now these are his kids. Na yeye amejitoa, hataki kuwashughulikia. Nah, this is my mom, hajai work.
Yes.
Because ameambiwa kazi yake ni kukaa hapo na kulea watoto. Now she has to start fending for us. So the divorce was very, very difficult for our family. And that's the time I met my husband.
Wow.
So anaingia tu kwa hii drama head on.
Gosh. Huku kunaendaje?
Huku kunaendaje. And I didn't want to hide anything from him. Yeah, I didn't want to unajua venye watu wanasemanga, if you get into a fresh relationship, don't share your baggage, don't tell them your body count, don't do this and this, you look less attractive. Mi nilikuwa like, bro, hivi ndio kunaenda.
Hizi ndio shida zangu.
You know? So I just nilimwambia tu kila kitu. And at the back of my mind nilikuwa najua huyu atajitoa tu.
Atasikia hiyo story yote aseme not me.
This is too much, you know. So I knew at some point atajitoa. But then 1 month in hakujitoa. 2 months.
Ulimwambia immediately. Immediately. Tu nakupenda wewe.
Nikamwambia okay.
Hold up.
Hivi ndio kunaendanga huko. Alijua everything from the first date. Hata sikumwachia skapi. Nilimwambia kila kitu.
Maybe that was the sign you were meant to be together.
I think so, honestly. Because mimi nilikuwa najua atajitoa. Yeah, so nilikuwa nashanga tu ni saa ngapi. Because ataenda tu, but ni saa ngapi. But he stuck it out. And he was very instrumental in helping me first of all, accept the situation. And then navigate the situation, which was very important because I don't know if I would have handled it myself. Venye I would have handled it. Yeah, because by there at that time I was 19.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
You're still young.
Yeah, I was still a child.
You know, many people think that because like divorce and separation.
Yeah.
Whether it's from your stepdad or your own, family, like it doesn't affect big kids. But from hearing what you're saying, it's like, no, even big kids are affected.
Yeah. I am sure my kids, it's not like I am sure, I am certain that my sisters had it rough during that time. And I can't compare what I was going through versus what they were going through because they were actually in the household. And this is their actual father, So it was tougher for them. But me, it was tougher emotionally just to see my mom going through that, Because when you're married to a narcissist, yani dunia yote lazima revolve around them, It's all about them. Now, that is what you have learned throughout the years. It's all about this person. So akienda, dunia inapasuka.
Ujui unaanzia wapi. So for you, the pain was seeing what your mom is going through.
Yes.
But of course for your siblings
and hearing what my sisters are going through.
Yes.
Because, sometimes I look at my sisters and they've gone through a lot. And hizo vitu zenye walikuwa na go through zilikuwa zinaniumiza sana, being that at that point bado sijasimama na miguu yangu miwili, bado I am still trying to find my footing in the film industry. And one day nilienda kuwatembelea nyumbani, and that's the day I decided I can't stay away, I can't watch them wakikuwa hivo. I have to step in and do something for them.
Wow, and this is still at 19.
Yeah, that's still at 19.
So here you are with Jackie B, who comes in the whole drama and decides I'm not going anywhere. It is sufficient. Tutavumilia hiyo ingine. So how has now marriage been like for you guys from now that perspective of you are still coming in with the bits and portions of things that you need to deal with as a girl, as that little girl that is inside of you. How does that look like?
From the word go, Jackie B knew what he was in for, sikuficha anything. And he knew that, I'm coming fresh from this broken family and niko na vitu zenye nina deal nazo. And I think kitu ya first yenye naeza sema alinisaidia nayo sana, alinisaidia to forgive my mom. Not that she had done something wrong per se, but ukikuwa kwa hiyo environment, you can't help but wonder, why did your mom mbona kutoka kwa hii situation fast enough? Why did we have to go all this through all these years? This person is supporting my education, and you have una have kuvumilia for her to finally decide now it's over. You know, why did she wait that long? So hiyo ni one of the things zenye alinisaidia kuona na kubuild your relationship tena na mamangu. And to forgive her.
Wow. Even I think sometimes someone can feel you chose love over your personal things over every other thing. And sometimes people can be hurt, especially children, because of such things. So as a wife and all these issues, umekuwa ukidila je hizo vitu zote? Like, you know, there's that void. Okay, grow up, unajua, this is not my dad, I'm looking for my dad. So every little girl you see out there, anakuanga very excited. Oh, my dad. My dad did. Mtu anakuja anakuambia, hey, my father and my father. And every time someone is like, you're like,
I can't relate.
Stop it.
Stop it.
I get it. You're a daddy's girl.
Lucky ones. Yeah.
You know, and maybe it's real like that. Like, mtu ako, please, enough of your dad's story. We get the whole point. We move on. And that's because there's something inside of you that just is not okay. When you're in marriage, I realize that very many people tend to transfer these issues in their marriages. Did you ever find yourself in such a space?
Well, first of all, easy daddy issues hazi manifestingi until you're in actual relationship. And you're trying to look for your dad in every person that comes by. I don't know, maybe because, well, most people start looking for their dads in men. That wasn't the case for me because, like, I met my husband when I was 19, so like there wasn't much room for that. No, unajua siku hizi sasa ubaya ni you're looking for these father figures kwa generation yenye ime-accept wa baba.
It's now very complicated.
It doesn't
But you know,
work.
Sometimes I tend to think that because of people are coming from very broken homes with the absent parents, and especially now for those who have absent dads in this case, I think that could be one of the leading causes of women just wanting to be with older guys. Because what would that older guy do?
True, yeah.
Atakuprovidea,
yes.
Akupende, asikusumbue,
give you counsel,
love you endlessly, akucancel, hata nakwambia uende class.
You know, yeah.
Na ni mbaba,
yes.
Usikose kwenda shule.
Yeah.
School is important.
Yeah.
I just, think maybe this is why very many girls just prefer to be with old guys. They're looking for their fathers.
Yeah. Because personal speaking, okay, there is we have an age difference with my husband, and hiyo ni one of the things zenye nilikuwa naangalia, like, is he mature enough, ama tutaanza yani sitaki mtu tutaanza kusumbuana hapa. Yeah, I'm trying to talk about deeper things. Naona nirudisha huko kwa zinaitwaje cha mama hapo. No, we're not going to do that.
Life has not, it's not been a cup of tea for you. You toughened up a little bit early. So ukiangalia mtu unaangalia vitu mingi.
Yeah, it's a lot. So one of the things zenye nililearn venye umesema, like how to cope with it, it's to accept the situation.
Number one.
Yes, accepting that these people are not going to change.
Yes.
This is especially your generation, this is how wanna view life. So don't try to change them. Don't try to fight with them. Don't ever wait for your mom or your dad to change. watabaki hivyo. So it's for you to adjust and know how you will navigate that. Yeah. The next thing is you start setting boundaries. Yeah, you start setting healthy boundaries with your parents. Whatever you're going through, whether alienda, siku hizi naonanga wanaenda wanapotea, wanashikwa na shida, wanarudi, ama wanashikwa na ugonjwa, wanarudi. So it's for you now to know, okay, yes, I will help you, maybe na ugonjwa yako, but maybe nitakutafutia nyumba huko kunaitwa aje Githurai ama somewhere, mahali tu ukae hapo, and I will help you from there. I won't again bring you in my household. So it's for you to try and look at your boundaries and how that will look like for you and your family. Yes.
Yeah, because here you are, someone has been absent in your life, and then all of a sudden they've come back.
Yes.
And because there's a void, you want to be loved, you want to look like a nice girl.
Yeah.
And
it's see hata hivyo peke yake. The Bible does command us to honor our parents.
Yes.
The Bible doesn't say you honor your parent, but if they do this, no.
You don't honor,
No, it just says you have to honor your father and your mother. So
regardless,
you have to. So whether alikutukana, akakuita all the big names, akaenda, sasa amerudi, he has a terminal illness, you have to honor them at that point. You have to meet their needs at that point. It doesn't matter. Your mother as well.
Yeah.
You know, that is what the Bible commands us to do.
Yeah, it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And a very painful process for most.
Yes. Yeah.
So you say have healthy boundaries.
Yes.
Honor, but know also how to safeguard yourself, how to safeguard your heart. Yeah.
Okay, honoring does not mean sasa you go and yani you disrupt life yako ama like you just give them everything. No, you meet their need according to uwezo wako.
Yes.
You know, that is also part of boundaries. Yeah. So boundaries, it's very important.
I met another friend of mine, Shule, and this guy is a dude. He was telling me, mi nikishapatana na msichana aniambie tu ati ametoka kwa familia yenye haina baba, I'm out. Because I'm just thinking these girls come with so much baggage. They are so broken. They need so much therapy. They don't know how to respect anyone. They are the rulers of their lives. They are so guarded. Wamejipanga. Like they don't care about nothing.
Yeah,
and at the same time they care about so much. Usipomcompliment, it's an issue.
Yeah.
Usipofanya, so like I don't have the grace to deal with that. And I just looked at him and I was like, oh boy, we are a number.
You know, so that is like maybe the 1%.
So for the guys also, like how do I wish I had a guy to ask this question. How should they navigate,
dealing with such a person?
Yeah.
Well, it's easier if you help your person mwenye ame go through hizo vitu to be, first of all, self-aware.
Yes.
You know, because everyone needs to be self-aware. Na whatever situation, whatever demons you're fighting, lazima ukwe self-aware.
Yes.
So if the person is self-aware, it doesn't matter what thing they went through. Kuko na venye anajua ku control emotions zake.
Yeah.
You know, na kuji handle. Yeah, even with whatever they went through.
I like that, yeah. And I think in everything, someone needs to be very aware of where they are in life. Like understanding, this is my truth, this is my reality, and this is what I have to deal with. And if it takes therapy for that to happen for you, please go for therapy. If it takes whatever it is that it takes for you to be okay, you do it.
You have to put in the work. You have to put in the work.
Oh, there's the work part.
Lazima ujue hizi vitu zinanitrigger kwa nini. Mbona akitoka aende nimpigie simu mara 2-3 inakuwa ni kesi sasa inanikwaza kweli kweli. You know, you're afraid.
You're thinking labda ataenda kama ameenda.
Maybe ataenda kendanga. Ama things like what we said, iyo kukua self-sufficient na kukua mtu mwenye how need help, una feel tu zile za okay, all of you can live at any point. So how do I handle that? How do I accept help? Mi kwanza hiyo ndio ilikuwa one of my biggest things. Like for me, ku accept help ama to know how to ask for help. Ilikuwa tu drama.
You're used to just taking care of yourself.
Self-sufficient. Yani, when I got married, do you know, bedha mpaka wa leo, unless ceiling imefikisha huko ni watu tu wa 6 foot tu wanaweza fikia, I would never ask him to change a bulb.
Nothing.
Ati nasikianga drama zingine ati he never takes out the trash.
Wewe umeshajipanganga.
You know, ama sijui he never mi hata nini ya gari tire mi na change. Like, you know, so to have that kukumbuka, you know, you don't have to be a strong woman.
Yes.
You know, as a woman you have to be fragile
and just baby girl, tender.
To remember to be fragile. To remember that you're a lady.
Yes.
You know. So hiyo ndio ilikuwa ngumu kwangu.
Sahi at least umeadjust kidogo.
Nilikuwa, what is it called? It's called in Kikuyu, it's called waboi. It's called waboi what? Au mademo wenye wanakuanga such tomboys. Wenye wataenda wachote maji wafanye kila kitu, yani all the manly things wanafanya tu, aoni big deal.
And by the way, if you're watching and you're thinking, hey, my girlfriend has those tendencies, probably you could just forward this this thing to her. It's called this channel, this conversation. Mtumia aone na maybe itamsaidia. And you can also start to understand
where they're coming
from. Because that's the other thing. You're like, this girl is so hard. Msichana ni mwingine anasema ni manga, hata appreciate kitu yote, and then it can be extremes. Kuna wenye wako self-sufficient, wamejipanga and all that, alafu there's another squad, now they are miserable, they cry, they are so sad. You can never make them happy. If you don't pick up, it's a problem. If you don't compliment them, it's a problem. If you don't do this, it's a problem. They're so needy and so broken.
Most of the times, it's inakuanga the opposite ends of the spectrum. It's either they're like this
or like this.
Or like this. It's either they are very self-sufficient or they are so broken. You know?
And also lack of trust.
Yes. That's the other thing. That's a huge thing. Anxiety.
Oh, yes.
You know? Because uko tu zile za, it's like an almost sense of impending doom. Like zile za, yes, things are okay now, but
I'm waiting for the next one.
Oh
my. You know, there's a time my hubby told me, it's like you're always, we're so happy. And then it's like you just know it's going to stop being okay. So it's like you're always waiting.
I know,
You're just waiting for the next thing. And being aware that these are the things I have struggled with. These are the things I'm dealing with. It has helped me over time to now realize this is what is causing you anxiety. This is what is making you be so scared all the time for nothing. You know, it took me time to realize, oh boy, you could be out at 3 a.m. You're not dead. I'm not going to wait for you. Okay, I'm not saying it in a bad way.
I understand you,
but like I know
to trust that things.
That's fine.
Things are
you know,
okay,
if someone is at work, they'll finish, they'll get home when they get home. Ama hata mahali wako tu sawa na watafika. It's quite a journey.
It's a journey. So especially hiyo kitu ya hiyo anxiety na ku deal na vitu, yani to always strive to be in control. You know, you always want to be in control. You always, yani kama ni kama it's a trip coming up, lazima ujipange. Make sure kila kitu imepangwa. You have to think about all the things that could go wrong, for you to, it's like almost go ahead of that and make sure it doesn't go wrong.
How did you get yourself out of that?
Self-aware, just being self-aware, to catch yourself in those moments when you're trying to go crazy and you're like, calm down. It's just a trip. Okay, tutafika huko. Kama mlisahau mko Mombasa, mlisahau bikini, tutaenda Kongowea, tutatafuta mabikini huko. We'll look for ways, you know. So
it's okay
to be self-aware and to catch yourself at hizo points zenye you're going down. Nerves zimekushika, you know.
Oh gosh. Aki, thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
And I pray that everyone who is listening, you'll find your own path to just being happy and being aware and knowing that it is not anyone's problem. I think there's also some huge amount of blame game that goes on around these issues of my dad, my mom, you know,
blame
my stepdad.
Blame me because I always used to think, Nico, like, maybe kama singezaliwa, if my mom hadn't had me outside wedlock, maybe should have had a happy marriage, you know. Singa kuweko kukua third wheel kila saa na kuruin kila kitu, unajua, maybe they would have had a fulfilling marriage. But that's not always the case, you know. So lazima ukumbuke to have compassion for yourself. Kukua na compassion na wewe na journey yako na whatever you're going through, and remembering it's not your fault. We don't choose our parents.
Yes.
You know, we can choose our partners, you know, but you can't.
Yeah, you can, by the way.
You can't choose your parents.
I have been in spaces where so many times nakanga nasikia niko, what is happening? Is it that very many people just choose to have babies and then dump them and move on with their lives, and then people don't understand the magnitude of the heartache and the trail, you know. Of course, it's okay, therapists will get jobs and all that, but still, if someone can choose now to make a better decision, what would you like for their kids? Unaweza ambia nini msichana mwenye sahi is joking around and just having a kid with someone who they've not decided to settle with?
Well, naonanga sana TikTok mkisema ati it doesn't matter whether the father is there or not. You know, I'll just wear my big girl pants and uyu mtoto atashiba. Rashiba uko sikwe. But what you forget is these kids are going to grow up na pain yenye sometimes hawawezi hata express. Unaiona tu in other things, unashanga mbono mtoi ana get into trouble kila saa, mbono mtoi ako hivi, mtoi ni bright but grades zake tu zinaenda tu downhill, you know. So a child will always need their father, whether you accept that or not. A child needs both parents, you know. Kama hayuko ni sawa, I mean, you know. And sai si kama kitambo saenye, you know, it took a village to raise a child. Unakumbuka kitambo? Kitambo ilikuwa ni, you know,
sisi ni wa kila mtu.
Sisi ni wa kila mtu. Uko na auntie yako nani, uko na uncle yako nani.
Now
you know,
like
there's always someone there to watch you, you know. You have maybe your grandparents. Siku hizi mtoto ni wako peke yako. You know, unapata sahi families hata venye watu walikuwa wanaenda ushago sijui for holidays. Things have changed, right?
By the way. And if someone is there in their space thinking that all a child needs is school fees and all that, it's not the case. There's so much more that they need. So if someone is in a position to make a better decision now, I think don't joke and toy around the idea of I can just have a kid and move on. You will have a kid to meet your desire of having a child, but then you will be having a child who will need to go through so much therapy
later on
to be okay. And that's if they're salvageable.
Yes.
you know, ruin marriages.
Get a puppy,
not a baby.
Yeah,
I like that.
Get a puppy. Kama pussy.
Hizo vitu kama hizo na parrot. Don't try with a child.
A child is permanent.
Yeah.
Mpaka afikishe 18
mi hata
years.
Kwa kichwa yangu kama hujafikisha 25 you're still a baby. Like I just think a 23-year-old is still a child. A 24-year-old bado mnyi wote by them ni watoto tu, bado uko na kazi. I think after campus ukikuwa 24, 25, that's when you really sort of you're growing up, but you're still a child.
And now,
imagine,
you know, pull up.
Just
relax,
pause. And now
enjoy life, you know, if you can travel. If you can fanya vitu zenye watoto wanafanya. Unajua siku hizi watu wanaharakisha sana life, sijui kwa nini.
Wanakimbia msijui wanaenda wapi. Be your age, enjoy your time. Don't toy around having kids. Ati tutakuwa tu sawa, hapana. You don't want to have adults who are going through so much. And now, because now there's a category that you're able to make a decision right now. Then kuna watu wamejipata kwa space. Saa hii ako na mtoto. Maybe 1 month, maybe 1 year. Maybe they're divorced. And ako kwa space anashindwa, oh my God. How can I help my baby not end up in a seat somewhere talking about their traumatic father experiences? What would you advise a woman or a mom in a space like that?
I don't know, but in my opinion, sijui mbona naonanga hivi. Maybe it's just like a myth, but I find that our wasichana wenye wana making a mistake and they have huyo mtoto mmoja, they do learn a lot and they just blossom kutoka hapo. And if you're in that position, just know you're in the best position. Usi regret anything that happened. Look forward to raising your child, you know. If kukona uncles ama any father figures that you can find within your family, well and good. That's not always the case, you know. You can always find a father figure somewhere else. Kama ni kijana, mtu mwenye atacheza naye football, you know. Kama ni msichana, mtu mwenye atamuonyesha kukuwa msichana. It's always very important to have that.
Look for a mother or a father figure for your child. Very important. I really like and support what you're saying, so that they have someone they can go to and they can't just come to you all the time. Someone who can teach them boy stuff. Someone who can motivate them to just do better, you know, and be better. So if you're in that space, it's okay. And watoto, by the way, hakuna mwenye anakuanga mistake. That's the other thing. You just figure it out. But do the necessary steps right now, sindio? We thank God for where we are, for healing. And by the way, what does healing look like for you right now?
Healing for me is doing better by my kids.
Wow.
Yeah, that is healing. Making sure that my kids don't lack what I lacked, you know. My kids don't go through maybe punishment without love. Unajua ile punishment unachapa tu mtoto kumtolea frustration zako. So my kids don't go through that. And my kids are brought up with parents who love them, you know. Na it doesn't matter. Hata kama umeachana na mtu wako and you guys are no longer together. For the sake of the kids, just try, you know, meet them halfway. Ndio at least that person is there for the child. Kama ataki, pia ni sawa. Simlazimishe. Look for positive influences for your kids. It's very important.
By the way, Michelle, unakuanga na wanyama wengi sana. Do people call you Michelle or Brenda?
Michelle for people who know me outside school, and then Brenda is for people who knew me from school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I find that a lot. Niko na majina mbili kwa sababu I am originally Catholic. Acha tu niwaexplainie leo hii confusion iishe. So I have 2 English names kwa sababu I'm originally Catholic na jina inaitwaje, jina Michelle, it's not a saint name. So when you're a Catholic you must be named after a saint. Yeah, so my mom added Brenda because there is Saint Brendan.
Oh,
yeah, so
no.
Brenda
Okay.
Mitchelle.
Now we know. Hi,
the 2
saints.
names. Yeah.
Now we understand.
Yeah.
Mi nakutanga Michelle. So anyway, tell us about your pets before we wind up. We have to hear maybe this girl here, this one.
Wait.
Anachezanga na
tell you
dogs
mine
kubwa
now.
kuliko.
I know. So pets, nilianza kupenda pets kitambo. Pets have been such a coping mechanism for me. You know, pets are so loving. Like we don't even deserve pets. So kutoka nikue mdogo, I was always, hiyo ndio ilikuwa kitu yenye ilikuwa inanifanya ni look forward to something that I'm going to see. Paka ya neighbor, paka kulikuwa chachetu, kulikuwa na mapaka mingi, sijui mbona kulikuwa na paka mingi hivyo. So I used to look forward to going to church on Saturdays so that nicheze na mapaka.
Oh.
Yeah. Hata kama tulikuwa tunaishi Mombasa na kila mtu alikuwa anasema hizo ni jini.
Hizo paka ni Fatuma.
I know.
Jerry.
Mamake Asadi. Let me tell you. But kutoka tu kitambo, like nimependa pets. Yeah, and they just make me feel complete.
So now when you guys got married, who was the pet person? Was it like who now brought all these animals that you live with?
So,
there are so many.
So originally, I'm a cat. I love cats. And then Jackie B loves dogs.
Wow.
Yeah, so tukakuwa tu shamba la wanyama kwa sasa kila mtu akona gang yake huko, yako mimi na paka, yako na dogi. So kuna time when we are still dating nililetea Jack paka fulani hapo. Akio paka ilimhangaisha. Okay, I couldn't singempeleka kwangu kwa sababu I was surviving na nini pesa ya nini comrade, you know. Pesa ya comrade haezi lishapaka. So nikaipeleka Jackie B. Chakwambie, hii paka ilimhangaisha, ilienda ikararua mahali nyuma ya couch. Hapo ndio inapupuna inasoso. Jack alichukia paka. I had to convince him tena. Basa hii, yeye ndo anakuanga, yani he loves cats a lot. Yeah, of course when you're metrainer sawa na hizo tabia.
Yeah, so they're in the business of selling, by the way, pets. They have a number of pets and they train them very well. So we'll give you contacts ya biashara for those who want beautiful pets. They have the most amazing pets you can ever. Ndeka tu picha, utanipe picha mzuri niweke hapa. Kama 2 3 muone.
Those are my heart.
Me saw you with one big black dog. It had like curled hair.
That's a Russian Terrier. It's so huge, like inafika mpaka hapa. So kama mnataka kuziona, enda to Dog Lovers Kenya on Instagram and across all social media pages. Mtaona wanyama wote wenye mnataka kuona.
Akini wingi.
Exotic, they're called exotic breeds.
Kuna mbwa koko, by the way. Nizo tutu.
Nothing wrong with Bosco. Why? Bosco anakuanga all weather. I need vaccine, you know. But
Bosco ni Simba na Tusker. Ni the same. I know every mama has a Simba and a Tusker.
My shosho has a Bosco. So hizo zinakuanga ni mbwa all weather, has need vaccine, ukilisha once a week fine, you know. Basi sasa hizi bushi exotic itashikwa na pneumonia. Lazima vaccinate, we groom, make sure inakaa poa. We wash AC. Kuna mchezo.
So if you want exotic pets, that is your plug. Brenda, thank you so much for coming. Thank you for sharing your story so candidly. And all of you who are watching, I hope this has been a blessing to you. And if you need help, if you need someone to work with you, you can always reach out and we'll recommend people who are able to work with you, because it's important that you are a whole person, that you are aware of yourself, that you wear your big girl pants and just do life, because, you know, see tuko tu venye tuko. you just have to do your best and that's it. Yeah. So bye. Shout out to Jackie B.
Hey.
Bye.